Almost 3/4 of the Earth is covered in water. This global ocean is divided into 5 ocean basins: the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic, and Southern Oceans. The Atlantic Ocean is the world's second largest ocean, covering about 1/5 of the Earth's surface. It is divided at the equator into the North Atlantic and the South Atlantic. To the east lie the Americas, and to the west are Europe and Africa. The North Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Caribbean Sea are all technically part of the Atlantic Ocean. Running underwater all the way from Iceland to Georgia is a mountain range called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. This ridge is the source of lots of volcanic activity, which has produced many islands, including the Bahamas, the Canary Islands, and Greenland, the world's largest island. The Atlantic Ocean is important for trade. Some big ports along its coast include Rotterdam in the Netherlands, Hamburg in Germany, New York in the USA, Buenos Aires in Argentina, and Cologne in Panama. Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is called a closed ocean because it is landlocked by Asia to the north, Australia to the east, and Africa to the west. The man-made Suez Canal connects it to the Atlantic Ocean by the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. This makes voyages from Asia to Europe much quicker. Beneath its depths, the Indian Ocean contains more inactive volcanoes than any other ocean. The Indian Ocean is an important trade route, especially for oil. Tankers carry 17 million barrels of oil across the Indian Ocean every day. As a result, there have also been many oil spills in this area, particularly in the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf. The oil pollutes the water and threatens marine life. Water in the Indian Ocean is warmer, saltier, and lower in oxygen than water in the other oceans. This means that there is less marine life. Nevertheless, it is home to many endangered species, including sea turtles, seals, and dugongs. It is also the largest breeding ground for humpback whales. Due to climate change, the Indian Ocean gets 20 centimeters wider every year as the polar ice cap in the Antarctic melts. Pacific Ocean. With the Americas to the west and Asia and Australia to the east, the Pacific Ocean is the world's largest ocean. It is bigger than all of the continents put together. At its deepest point, the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, it is 10,920 meters deep. This makes it the deepest ocean too. The Pacific Ocean is surrounded by 452 active volcanoes, laid out in a horseshoe shape called the Ring of Fire. About 90% of the world's earthquakes and tsunamis happen along the Ring of Fire. There are also many dormant volcanoes lurking at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. 3/4 of the Earth's volcanoes are found there. There are lots of islands in the Pacific Ocean, often grouped together into archipelagos. Indonesia, located just north of Australia, is the world's largest archipelago. It is made up of a whopping 17,508 islands. Other Pacific archipelagos include Japan, Hawaii, Fiji, New Zealand, and the Philippines. The Pacific Ocean is also home to the Great Barrier Reef. It is the largest coral reef system in the world and stretches more than 1,400 miles along the eastern coast of Australia. It is so big, it can be seen from outer space. Southern Ocean. For centuries, the Southern Ocean has meant different things to different nations. In many documents and textbooks, it still doesn't officially exist. However, in the year 2000, several countries, including the UK and the USA, agreed that the ocean surrounding Antarctica should be referred to as the Southern Ocean. Even so, no one can quite agree how far north it extends. The water in the Southern Ocean can be anywhere between -2 and -10 degrees Celsius. As a result, there are many icebergs and large chunks of ice floating in this part of the ocean. These can be several meters high, and they make traveling by ship very dangerous. Particularly during the long winter, icebreaker ships have to sail in front of other ships to carve a clear passage through the ice. During this time, from May to October, ships not only face a frozen ocean, but also strong winds. In spite of the treacherous conditions, over 50,000 tourists cross the Southern Ocean every year. They flock to Antarctica to see emperor penguins, blue whales, seals, and albatrosses. Every spring, over 100 million birds migrate to Antarctica to rear their young. It's a bird watcher's dream. Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Ocean is the body of water surrounding the North Pole. Greenland, Norway, Alaska, Canada, and Russia all have coastlines on the Arctic Ocean. Covering just 3% of the Earth's surface, it is the smallest, shallowest, coldest, and least salty ocean. On average, it is just over 1,000 meters deep. During Arctic summers, it never gets dark. In spite of this, it is rarely sunny. This is because the sky in this region is mostly cloudy. During the winter, there is about 60% cloud cover, while in the summer, there is about 80% cloud cover. Unlike the Antarctic, which is a continent, the land in the Arctic is made entirely of floating ice. The thickness of the ice varies depending on the time of year. In the spring and summer, lots of the ice melts, but it refreezes again in the autumn and winter. Sadly, the Arctic is more affected by climate change than other parts of the world. Scientists have estimated that, by 2040, all of the Arctic ice will melt in the summer, then refreeze again in colder weather. This would endanger the lives of animals, such as polar bears, who live there. It would also cause sea levels around the world to rise. The deepest point of the Atlantic Ocean is the Milwaukee Deep in the Puerto Rico Trench. It reaches depths of 8,376 meters. Another deep trench is the South Sandwich Trench. It is 8,246 meters deep. On average, though, the Atlantic is around 3,650 meters deep.